Hello, everybody, and welcome to... Did we agree to call it Season 2? I guess Season 2 of Reactaholics. I am joined by Callum. Say hi, Callum.
Oh, hi, everybody.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
I bet you're wondering where Ron, Mel, and John are. Well, I'll just explain with a little bit of dialogue where everybody is. Ron is still in the forest. He is still in the forest. He actually went. He's still there. He's still upset about Funko Pops. He's been there ever since that episode was uploaded. Ron has been in the forest. And he's still there. We can't find him. If you think you found Ron, please send pictures. Because we need to track him down. We need to get him back here, and we need to put a hat on that boy. We need to give him a hat. We need to make him talk about movies. I'm scared for him. Truly scared.
We all are, son. We all
are. Mel is actually off dancing with eagles. Now, I know what you're thinking. How do eagles dance? Well, I'm curious, too, because Mel refused to tell us. She's just like, I'm dancing with eagles. There's a theory going around that when Thanos died, she got his weed farm and only believes that she is dancing with eagles. But we cannot confirm nor deny.
The Reality Stone and the weed are not a good combination.
And of course, John Bailey is running for president. If you're wondering what that's a reference to, I'll see you around Christmas time.
Speaking of politics, I just wanted to give a brief mention to this green movement set up by Greta Thunberg. I've been a part of it over in Scotland, and it's been great. Please protect the environment. And I also wanted to give a mention to The Dark Crystal, Age of Resistance. This is a recent series which is bringing back puppetry in its full glory. It's made by Lisa Henson, so Jim Henson is in good hands.
Callum, I don't know if you want to get political and talk about The Dark Crystal. My God, you're really putting out your information with that and your party. Like, God, you've chosen a side.
yeah, but basically, I just wanted to give a shout out to The Dark Crystal, The Age of Resistance, because they took a concept of the movie, which wasn't perfect, but was still great, and they made it into one of the most epic fantasies ever made. It's amazing. Please go watch it. And that is all I have to mention. Let's carry on with talking about.
Well, real fast, I want to talk about Dark Crystal. I have something to say.
All right.
I know nothing about Dark Crystal. I know absolutely nothing. However, once I was at a convention, and I was just sort of chilling, doing my Kneale thing.
Yeah.
And then they were asking, what's your guys' favorite movie? And like 5 people in the crowd said, well, it was a panel at a convention, and 5 people in the crowd said Dark Crystal. And then somebody who was like part of the panel, I can't remember who, just starts going, I also love Dark Crystal. And then everybody starts cheering Dark Crystal. And I just start cheering, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. So those are my opinions of Dark Crystal. People seem to like it. I don't know what it is. I guess it's got Jim Henson's name on it. Yep. So it's got to be kind of good. Oh, also, just so everyone is aware, I am outside during this episode.
I'm keeping my voice down. We're all having benefits.
I am specifically outside in the country, so there will be crickets. There will be cars. There will be my brother jumping on the trampoline. You can probably hear him. But we wanted to get this episode to you guys because you've been waiting a while. People keep commenting in the streams. We're here. We're alive. Oh, except for maybe Mel. She might be dead. Or maybe she's high dancing with eagles. Maybe she is dancing with eagles. We don't know.
The eagles are coming.
They have dancing shoes and top hats. But with that, yes, you could probably tell from the thumbnail. You could probably tell from whatever the title's going to be. In fact, the title, because I know Chris and he might do this to fuck with me, the title might be "This Video Isn't About Disney Plus." But this video is about Disney Plus. And we're going to go through everything. I'm going to reveal a little message I wrote months ago when a certain show got announced. If you know me, you can probably guess which one. But right now, let's just start in with the first thing that was announced. So, Callum, how do you feel about High School Musical, the musical TV series?
This is already a bit of a mind stuffery. This premise is already 10 times more complex than the Kingdom Hearts series combined. And that's
let's not go that far. Kingdom Hearts literally 3 opened with saying, "We're 2.9." Like, Jesus. But yeah, go on.
High School Musical, the series. So it's a series about people putting on a musical based on High School Musical?
Okay, so this is what it's about. And in case you're wondering, I did some deep digging. When stuff started dropping, I was like, okay, I gotta know everything. So the guy comes out on stage and he's like, so we were trying to think of a brand new way to bring High School Musical back. We thought about doing another movie. We thought about doing a reboot. But what we decided on was something else. So, in the world of this show,
right,
it takes place at the high school that High School Musical was filmed at. And it's about the students of that high school doing High School Musical as their High School Musical. And apparently it's a documentary/mockumentary thing. So to everyone who has seen the show, imagine High School Musical meets American Vandal.
Right.
American Vandal with songs. And admittedly, like, when you describe it like that, I kind of want to see it, but I have the feeling this is going to suck.
Now that I think about it, Zac Efron and Zendaya would make a great couple for High School Musical.
I'm Tom Holland and Zendaya, man. I love Greatest Showman, but Spider-Man's my thing.
No, Zac Efron was in High School Musical, so what if Zac Efron came in as a teacher and was wooing Zendaya's character, and Tom Holland as Spider-Man was just fighting off Zac Efron?
Oh, that's creepy. You want to know what's weird? I remember way too many names of the characters from that show, from High School Musical. I remember Troy, he's the main character.
Zac Efron.
Sharpay, she's the villain. That's Ashley Tisdale. Her brother Lucas. Vanessa Hudgens plays a chick. Okay, I didn't remember too many, but I had like 3. I had 3.
Yeah. That guy with the...
And I remember all the songs. The guy with the... Yeah, him.
And the girl who was the same race.
Wow, subtle, Callum, subtle. And that girl who is also what he is. They are both African American, Callum.
That's what you remember these characters as.
Somewhere off in the distance, Ron just flinched. Ron just face-palmed like, God damn it.
Man, really?
You're not making a good case for yourself here, buddy.
Okay, let's see.
But yeah, with High School Musical, the series, here's the thing. Is this going to be with child actors?
Hopefully good ones.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Even good ones, like, okay, I'm going to be that asshole. I don't like a lot of children singing. Like, there are exceptions to this. There are really great child singers. Go watch America's Got Talent. But, you know, there are also awful ones. Terrible ones. Ones that are predominantly in TV shows and stuff. So I don't want that to happen with this. Please. Honestly, what I would have wanted is like, do like a fourth movie. Like, why not? Like, just do a fourth movie. Maybe your idea. Maybe some of the, like, one of the kids from the original High School Musical is a teacher. They choose to put on a musical, but they're having trouble getting the kids into it. So they call back the original cast and they get some help. I feel like that could be okay. I was never super into High School Musical, so I don't really care that it's getting a reboot, I guess.
I mean, I was into High School Musical during my primary school age, but that was a long time ago.
Look, I know a few of the songs word for word just because they're ridiculous. But, I mean, there's one that's literally called Fabulous, and it's just, if you haven't heard it,
yeah,
just learn it. I only learned it so I could sing it in front of a talent show.
That's a boy I want. Fabulous.
Oh yeah, I still know the whole song. It's like, it's out with the old and in with the new. Goodbye, skies of gray. Hello, skies of blue. She's telling the weather to change. Who does that?
Jesus.
Oh, well, you got me there. Storm from the X-Men. A lot of people do it.
Yeah.
So she's up. So she's one of the greats. Jesus Christ. Storm. Sharpay. The three great weather wizards. I think I'll watch it because I don't know if I've told anybody in the group this. I'm buying Disney Plus the week it comes out. But guys, come on. I don't care about this. I mean, we had a lot of fun making fun of it, but I don't care about it.
I don't care. Let's just move on.
Okay, well, another thing is, and this was the big deal. Everybody was all like, so the guy comes out on stage and he's like, oh, well, we're going to do a new Lizzie McGuire.
Ah, yes.
And I'm sitting there and I'm like, they're just going to reboot everything. They're rebooting High School Musical. They're rebooting Lizzie McGuire. But then the guy just goes, no, fuck you, Kneale. It's not a reboot. It's a sequel. Come here, Hilary Duff. And they're doing a sequel with Hilary Duff where Lizzie McGuire is an adult. And I just sort of had to sit there and clap and be like, okay, you got me, Disney. I underestimated you.
Reboot everything and cash in on nostalgia and do it again.
I mean, at least it's not a reboot. It's a sequel.
Yeah.
And, you know, maybe it could be good.
Yeah, we both grew up with Hilary Duff as Lizzie McGuire with her little cartoon girl. I'm looking forward to seeing little cartoon girl accompany her again.
They did confirm the cartoon girl's coming back. She's going to, like, sort of guide Lizzie through adulthood. And I'm interested in this because on one half, it could be an interesting revisit to a character I grew up with and kind of liked. On the other half, I think this has full potential to be so bad it's good. Like, here's the thing. What if, like, it's a situation where it's exactly what Lizzie McGuire was, but she's older now and no longer a little kid? So it's really weird that she's talking to herself. I'm just saying, there is a good story to tell here, and there is a bad story to tell here, and I want to see both. What do you think, Callan? What do you think it's going to be?
And it might be a mixture of the good and the bad. It might be the ugly.
I don't want the ugly. Hilary Duff aged fine, sir. She is not ugly.
No,
she is a fine-looking lady. Mm-hmm. I am not in any way flirting with you, Hilary Duff. However, you aged well. Much better than I'm going to age. I'm going to look like George Lucas when I'm 25. I got 4 more years of just kind of fat before I become fat. But what do you think about this, Callum? Do you care about Lizzie McGuire?
A wee bit. I mean, she was part of my childhood, so yeah, it's good to have her back.
I mean, I remember I would watch episodes of Lizzie McGuire, but only after something. Like, everybody who's a kid can relate to what I'm about to say. Have you ever watched a show just because it was after something you wanted to watch? I would watch, like, That's So Raven and Hannah Montana, and then Lizzie McGuire would be on. So I'd watch an episode of Lizzie McGuire. Boy, isn't that the most manly lineup ever, Callum? Just That's So Raven, Hannah Montana. I was a manly child. But moving on, hopefully we can just sort of plow through the Disney stuff. Actually, no, wait. Let's focus on Disney. I'll talk about Pixar in a minute.
We're focusing on Disney Channel stuff?
Yeah, kinda. Well, they also said that a lot of the stuff on Disney Channel was going to be on there, which I really like because that means DuckTales is going to be on there.
Woo-hoo.
And I have been wanting to watch the new DuckTales. Oh, also, this has been confirmed. Anything that is on Disney Plus is there forever. They're never going to delete things like what Netflix does. A dog just ran up to me.
Enjoy. Even the dog.
The dog is like, hey. They making a new Beverly Hills Chihuahua? Hello, dog. Callum, you carry the conversation a little. I'm going to mute myself for just a second while this dog barks.
Oh, God bless the dogs.
He wants to be famous.
Just go join Disney. So that's the first I've ever heard of it. Disney Plus never deleting their content. Now, this could potentially be a tad bit risky because if there is any bad content, well, it's up there forever. But we know Disney. They produce mainly good stuff, so good stuff will stay. Yay! So that includes all the movies. It would be so much fun just to watch Gravity Falls over and over again. And just to have all their Disney content on there. Maybe they'll have some of their lost shorts. A thought has just occurred to me. Are they going to release Song of the South on Disney Plus?
No, Callum, get off of this. No, get off of this mine train. Get away from this. Get away from this now. Stop it. Stop. I leave you alone for 2 minutes. Stop it. But back on topic. One of the things that is going to be released, this is pure Disney, is a Lady and the Tramp remake, which is actually live action. Like, I know everyone's like, oh, it's CG, it's not live action. No, this one's real dogs. It's actually live action.
Okay.
Yeah, that was my opinion too. I don't really have one. I mean, I have noticed that everyone is making jokes about the Italian gentlemen who make dinner for the puppies. Everyone is being really funny towards them. Just oh, hey, there are these 2 dogs outside. What should we do? Let's play some music and try to make them a bang. Okie dokie, Luigi.
This might be a bit more difficult than the rabbits, but, we are Italian people. We're going to serve them all right. We're going to get them a fun night.
It's our weird fetish. We like it when the animals bang. Yeah, that's my opinion too. Okay.
For this is the bang, just a beautiful bang.
This is the sex. dog with sex. My opinion of it, like, I wish there was more to say, but my opinion of it is literally just, okay.
Just one man.
I guess I'm okay with it being a thing, but I don't really care. You know?
And moving on to, I think, something else Disney Channel related. They're making a Phineas and Ferb movie.
Now, I gotta tell you, had they not announced a Hawkeye show, this may have been the thing I was most excited for. No joke. Listen, I love Phineas and Ferb. I know I don't really talk a lot about Phineas and Ferb on the show. It's great. It's so funny. It's so clever. I absolutely love the show. I am so excited for this new movie.
Yeah, it's a good show.
I hope that there's more. Like, I'm happy we're getting a new movie. I hope we get... I don't need a sequel series, but just I want more, you know? I'm Veruca Salt. Don't care how, I want it now. I am trying my best to avoid the noise. I apologize, humans. But yeah, Phineas and Ferb, I do have one qualm about it. The show is apparently going to be about Phineas and Ferb trying to save Kansas from going into, like, Mars or space or something. They already did that. They already did that in the show.
In fact, they already did 2 other movies. They did, or was it one other movie? They did Into the Fourth Dimension when they encountered...
Yeah, they went into the other dimension.
Yeah. And did they make another movie?
No, but they did several specials that were hour-long. Like, they did
Marvel,
the Star Wars special. They did the Marvel special. They did a Lord of the Rings thing. They did it. Listen, Phineas and Ferb went all out. But I have no problem with them making another movie. It's just they already did the plot they're describing. They already went into space specifically to save Candace.
There might be a platypus controlling them.
I mean, I just hope it's different. Apparently, Dr. Doofenshmirtz is going to be a part of it, so... I mean, we know it's going to be good. It's Phineas and Ferb. It's going to be good.
With Dr. Doofenshmirtz.
It's Phineas and Ferb. It's going to be great.
Yeah. They're gonna do it all.
Okay. We may have missed a few things, but I think this is going to be the last Disney Channel thing I bring up.
Beneath the table. Sorry, I love that song.
If we do... All of the Phineas Ferb songs are great. There's like, you're gonna get busted. I don't want to put the hurt on you. And there's that one where it's like, she can't see the squirrels in my pants. It's just all good.
No, I ain't got rhythm.
But I ain't got rhythm. That one's like the most catchy. That sounds like rhythm to me. Ain't got rhythm. Looks like they all agree. But okay, where was I? Oh yeah. So the last thing I'll mention that's Disney Channel related, I'm sure there's other stuff, but the last thing I'm going to mention, because this shit matters to me, is apparently there's going to be an unscripted road trip style Muppets TV show on Disney Plus.
So basically, it's Muppets plus Whose Line Is It Anyway? That should make for a good combination.
Yeah, that's weird to me though, because unscripted Muppets? Like, I think it's going to be good, but at the same time, I think it's going to be weird. I'm excited to see, like, I love the Muppets, so I'm just excited to see them come back.
Yeah.
The Muppets are literally, like, not even kidding. The Muppets are what really started getting me thinking about film. Like, essentially, in terms of character creation, the Muppets are what inspired me, because one day I was like, wow, I care about Kermit the Frog as if he were family, and he's a frickin' sock puppet. So, like, that's whenever I make D&D characters and stuff, I try to put as much heart into it as the creation process for the Muppets had to have. So, I'm glad the Muppets are still going. I'm glad that Disney remembered they exist.
I'm glad that the Jim Henson Company has got some brilliant upheaval recently with the Muppets on Disney Plus and the Dark Crystal on Netflix.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I've heard good things about Dark Crystal. I haven't actually seen anything, but I've heard very good things.
Practical effects are astounding. There's like Jurassic Park levels. It's so good.
But we're moving on. Oh wait, there is one more Disney thing. Sorry, I'm just bringing it up because I remembered and okay. Last one. There's this movie coming out around Christmas time. And it's called Noelle. And basically, it's Anna Kendrick's. And she's Santa's daughter. Bill Hader is Santa's son. And he's really nervous about the job. So Anna Kendrick says, hey, go take a vacation. So he leaves to go take a vacation. And he never comes back. So Anna Kendrick has to go find Bill Hader. And that's the show. It's a movie. Apparently, there's a reindeer in it. It's going to be one of those little movies you watch around Christmas time.
Yeah.
I only brought it up because I didn't forget it. It's fine. It looks. Actually, the trailer doesn't look that funny, but it looks fine. I'm sure it will be fine. Callum, thoughts?
Yeah, fun Christmas movie. That's all I have to say.
I like Anna Kendrick. I might watch it.
Done.
I'm not even going to give you... Here's the thing, guys. I'm not even going to give you 100. I don't like to lie to people. Am I going to watch Noelle? I don't know. Maybe. Everybody comment whether or not you want me to review Noelle. Watch it be like the worst movie I've ever seen now, and I just duped myself. Or the best. Maybe this is amazing.
Maybe. All I know for sure.
All right, let's start talking about the shit we care about. Okay, so Pixar. We're just going to get through Pixar real fast. The first thing they're releasing is a show about shorts. And they're starting with Forky. They're doing a bunch of shorts about Forky from Toy Story, sort of continuing the Toy Story story.
I still think he should be called Sporky, but then again, who am I to question a character named after a toddler?
I think in the movie, don't they make a joke that he's actually a spork?
Possibly.
I mean, you got to remember that. He was made by a little kid. But they showed a couple of the shorts at the place. I haven't seen them. They haven't leaked. But, I'm sure they'll be fine. I like Forky. I thought he was cute.
Yeah.
You made a Forky.
And Toy Story... Yeah, I made a Forky, and I said that Toy Story 4 was a surprise hit for me.
Really? Okay. So here's the thing, guys. We've been gone for a little bit. We haven't had a chance to talk about Comic-Con. We haven't had a chance to talk about a lot of things. So let's go on a little bit of a tangent here. How did you like Toy Story 4? Because I just thought it was okay.
It was surprisingly good. Was it as good as Toy Story 3? Not really, but...
No, not even a little for me.
Not even a little, but you know what? It surprised me. It surprised me in how good it actually was. And me and Ron actually reviewed this on Instagram. We more or less had the same opinion. We said, Pixar, what more can you do? It's a perfect trilogy. And we both said that Pixar practically said, well, yes, well, what do you do once you're done? Ooh, that is a tough topic. And
well, here's my thing.
That they delve into Toy Story 4.
I have seen every Toy Story movie with my family. And this movie was no exception. I watched it with my family, which is rare for me, actually. It's surprisingly rare to go to the movies with my family. But we started watching it together. We were at the drive-in, which I have said in the past is my favorite place in the world. And I just looked over to my mom several times during the movie and said things. The first thing I said, which I actually told to Callum as soon as I found out he had seen the movie, is that little girl in the classroom looks like Boo from Monsters, Inc. Yeah. And she kept popping up. She popped up at the carnival at one point. Every time I saw her, I was like, that's Boo. That's Boo. In my headcanon, that's Boo. The second thing I said was sort of towards the end. And I whispered in my mom's ear and said, I think Woody's going to leave and give his hat to Buzz. And then my mom looks at me and goes, if that happens, I'm going to cry. And they kind of did something like that, but it was giving his badge to Jessie. And I didn't like that. I thought it was cute because Jessie was now the favorite toy. But Buzz is his best friend. I was just sitting there like, take Buzz with you.
Let's face it, Kneale, the badge would fit Jessie better. The badge would kind of just fall off Buzz's.
Just imagine all of the toy, not his badge. I wanted Woody to take off his hat and say, well, I don't think I need accessories. I'm not going to get played with anymore. And then hand it to Buzz, and then Buzz be like, you're always going to be the sheriff around these parts.
Well, Buzz, see ya, space cowboy.
I wanted to explode with crying. Just remember how you felt when you saw the fire. You saw the toys going towards that big thing of fire, and you actually went, how are they going to get out of this? And you just watch, and they all hold hands, and they accept they're going to die, and you go, what is going to happen? And then they get saved, and you cheer, and it's wonderful. People clapped in my theater.
The claw.
Juxtapose with Woody abandoning that family. I like Toy Story 4, but I got issues.
Yeah, people have issues with it, but you know what? I see Toy Story 4 as a bonus rather than
like DLC.
Essential. Yeah, like DLC. Yeah.
I mean, I guess that's the best way to view it. But for me, like, I don't know why I'm bitching. My favorite Toy Story movie is Toy Story 2. But yeah, so let's get back on topic. The other Pixar thing we currently know about is, well, there's two. I'll just mention this one real fast. Apparently, I don't know what this is going to be, but when I heard about it, I thought it was a prank show. Apparently, there's going to be a bunch of people in real life reenacting scenes from Pixar movies. Apparently, Up was mentioned. And I thought it was going to be a prank movie where somebody just like walks in, like is driving down the Brooklyn Bridge or like a bridge, and then Baymax flies over their head, fighting against that big creature thing from Big Hero 6.
Even though that's not a Pixar movie, but yeah, I get this.
Somebody in like a garbage dump is just chilling there, and then Wall-E comes up, starts calling him Eva. I just thought it was going to be a prank show. But no, apparently it's supposed to be one of those heartfelt, just like, look at these, remember these? And to me, it's like, Disney, you can't wait to make live action things out of Pixar, can you? You're getting your fix right now.
Remember these.
Remember these. You watched them as a kid. Remember these. Feel the same way that you did when watching these. But The other thing, which is actually the cool thing about Pixar, is there's going to be a Monsters, Inc. show, which is about these kids straight out of college, these monster kids straight out of college. They went to scare school, Callum. They went to scare school. They get out of college. They start working for Monster, Inc. They're ready for their first day. And the first day is the day that they switch from screams to laughter. And they've got to cope to that. And this is what they should have done with High School Musical. This is actually a really cool new premise. Like, just imagine you trained all your life to do one thing. You get in there to do your job for your first day, and it's something new. I think it's going to be hilarious. I love the Monsters, Inc. world. I think there's more to do there, and this is a good thing with that.
This is
what do you think?
Premise. I love the premise. I love the premise. That is such a genius premise.
It's a very good premise. I just like the idea of like someone like Jason Voorhees training his entire life to like kill people, and then the day he goes to do it, someone just goes, "Oh, by the way, you now make cupcakes." What? It's just such a good idea, and I'm kind of upset it's not going to be a movie, but at the same time, I feel like it's good enough to warrant a show.
Jason's mother just tells him, "You must make cupcakes, Jason.
You must be a stand-up comic, Jason. You must make them laugh. They're all gonna laugh at you, Jason. Then you will harvest their screams and fuel the monster world. I mean laughter. I'm old and dead, Jason. I'm only a head." I rhymed. I'm done with this joke. But yeah, I like that's a golden premise. So whatever comes of it, like I really hope they don't squander that brilliant idea.
Now it's time to put this mad dog to sleep. For God.
All right, everybody, we have finally moved on to one of the two things you want us to talk about. We are approaching Star Wars. And by last stream, I tried to do this one song from friggin' Star Wars. Oh, it's dun 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 dun.
Jewel of the Fates. Love it. Love it. Oh, look.
Okay.
Look what it is.
So the first thing. Have you seen the Mandalorian trailer?
Yeah.
What the fuck was that? Jesus. Like, I have seen Game of Thrones. I have seen plenty of shows on television. That looks like a movie. It's an episode of a show that looks like a movie. Like, I won't even talk about the trailer proper, except for the fact it looks like a movie. It's shot like a movie. I could see someone watching that in a cinema.
Yeah, there's various shows like that nowadays. Like The Dark Crystal Age of Resistance. Go watch it.
I haven't seen it yet. I mean, I don't know. It might be. But it looks... Just visually, it looks so good. And then I found out... You ready for this, Callum?
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember the exact number. But apparently the budget per episode was somewhere around $16 million each. Are you okay, Callum?
That is astounding.
Yeah. Imagine if that went into each Marvel show. I'm not even going to talk about that yet because we're getting there. But, my lord, if that's the actual number, I'm blown away. But the trailer looks good. It looks action-y. I got a question for you, Callum McRitchie. I got a question.
Yeah?
You know that scene in the trailer where the guy is starting to run away, and the Mandalorian shoots the door, and the door is about to close in on him, Saw style.
Right.
Are they going to show blood and guts in that scene? Because he didn't use a lightsaber, he didn't use a blaster, he didn't use a weapon that automatically cauterizes the wound. He used a door that looked bladed. I think Favreau is going to show us some guts in that scene. What do you think? You think the Mandalorian's going to get bloody?
It's on Disney Plus. I don't think it'll ever go 15 or 18 ever. 12 is the maximum for Disney.
I don't think it's going to go too high, but here's the thing. In animated movies, we can see blood that's like blue. We can see like green blood. I think that guy's going to get chopped in half and he's going to spew out green guts. And that's going to make it okay. Because that's okay.
Just as long as it's a different color.
Yeah, as long as it's not red, it's okay. It's Mortal Kombat 11 rules.
The royal color.
I just imagine somebody being stabbed and like rainbow color sparkles comes out. And then there's like guts and hearts and a spine, but it's all rainbow colored, so it's okay. Just imagine a Mortal Kombat fatality, but with rainbow. I want that in The Mandalorian. If it's not in The Mandalorian, wasted opportunity. But in terms of the story, I don't know much. I like the look. I like what they're going for with the in-between episode 6 and 7. I think the hat looks like Boba Fett's, and because of that, I am constantly thinking about Boba Fett. But I think it can be a good movie. It's show. What do you think, Callum? What are your thoughts on The Mandalorian altogether?
Thoughts on The Mandalorian. I think this is going to be a good premise for Star Wars material. I mean, if they want to do another Boba Fett spinoff, fine by me.
I mean, it's not Boba Fett.
But it's someone close enough.
Well, his mask looks like Boba Fett's. And he's a bounty hunter. Okay, I guess it's close enough. Another Star Wars thing, and I really wish Ron was here, because like me, Ron is highbrow. Ron's favorite Star Wars movie is Rogue One.
Ah, yes.
My favorite Star Wars movie is Rogue One.
Hey.
I gotta be honest, though. I didn't want what we're getting. So we're getting a show that is Cassian Andor and K2SO, and it's about them. I pitched this to a friend, and what I wanted was like, I know adding the word origins to a title might give some people some whiplash because of what happened with Wolverine, but I wanted a Rogue One Origins where each character from Rogue One gets 2 episodes and we see a story in their life. Like Rogue One Origins, Chirrut. Rogue One Origins, Baze Malbus, and we can see why Chirrut and Baze Malbus became such close friends. Why Chirrut is so devoted to the Force and worships it. Why Baze doesn't believe in the Force. We could see Brody Rook. I want to know what happened with him. And then Cassian and K2SO could be a part of that. They could have their own episode. A whole series about them, though. I don't know. I love Alan Tudyk, but I'm cautious. What, Callum? Do you have positives? Do you have negatives?
I love K2SO. He was the best character in Rogue One.
No. Chirrut. The blind guy. Chirrut was the best character. We'll fight.
Is there anything else Star Wars related that was being released on Disney Plus?
Oh, no, nothing at all. Nothing. Oh, I guess there's this one small thing. Not too big. They're doing a show about a Star Wars character that's sort of been there since the beginning. He was in both the prequels and the main trilogy. Not really important. You probably won't recognize his name. Obi-Wan fucking Kenobi. They are doing an Obi-Wan TV show, man.
With Ewan McGregor.
I'm so excited. Listen, Obi-Wan is always like Han Solo and Obi-Wan. It always goes between them. But Obi-Wan is one of my favorite Star Wars characters ever. And my word, like, this has shocked me. This has excited me. It was a terrible kept secret, but my God, it's going to be great. What do you hope to see? What do you hope they show?
Just Ewan McGregor getting white beard.
That's it. That's what. Hello and welcome back to Obi-Wan's facial methods. Here we'll show the growing of my beard. Slowly.
It'll come back. The beard will come back, and in greater numbers.
The hair will grow with greater numbers, it will. I hope, sorry, I'm talking like Yoda. When you learn from a man for so long, you just sort of start copying him. He's just sitting in the hut. That's all he did since Revenge of the Sith to A New Hope. He just sat in a hut watching Netflix. Oh, this Daredevil is pretty good. Wonder how Anakin's doing. I wonder if he survived after I, cut off his arms and legs and pushed him into a volcano. Probably not. What are the odds of that coming back to bite me?
High ground.
Back to Daredevil.
Hashtag high ground.
That's what the show should be called. Obi-Wan High Ground. But I want to, Rebels has been doing stuff with Darth Maul and Obi-Wan. Apparently Darth Maul's canon death is in that. I would like to see some Darth Maul stuff in this show. Mm-hmm. And I realize that apparently Rebels is canon. But if Rebels is canon, that means there was a period of time where Darth Maul ran a criminal syndicate. Let's see that. Let's see Obi-Wan go after that. Let's see him take down some of the syndicate.
I mean, spoiler alert, in Star Wars Rebels, I believe, Obi-Wan eventually takes down Darth Maul in a fight.
Yeah. I mean, I just said that, so I spoiled it before you did.
Yeah,
but it's such a cool scene.
Yeah, it's a really cool scene. Yes, Darth Maul saying, is he the one? Obi-Wan saying, yes, he is. He will avenge us.
It's just... That's the ending Darth Maul deserved. But, yeah, you don't have any requests? You don't have anything you'd like to see Obi-Wan do? Besides his beard?
I'm just looking forward to Rise of Skywalker. Yeah,
we can talk about Rise of Skywalker here. We did Comic-Con, so we can talk about it.
Yeah, I'm actually one of those people who actually likes the sequel trilogy. People just seem to be going on and on about a certain film.
Everybody is talking about Last Jedi. They're still bitching about it. What about the trailer has you excited? The return of Palpatine? Dark Ray?
Dark Ray, that's a potential thing happening.
Why is a kite C-3PO with his red eyes? Because he's a stoner now.
had enough of R2-D2's already game. I am looking forward to seeing good old Emperor Palpatine come back, and Ian McDiarmid, which would be great. For those who were disappointed by Snoke, I think Palpatine will make up for that.
I mean, here's the thing, and I literally said this to Sebastian, my cousin, when we saw the movie. I was like, is Kylo just going to be the main villain in the next one? And he was like, nah, they're going to do something. And then bringing back Palpatine was their something. I guess I'm excited. I am excited. Like, I remember watching the first trailer, in Florida when I saw In-Game for the first time. And it was cool, man. It was cool. Hopefully it's not a bad movie. And hopefully, even more than that, hopefully the fanboys can just neutrally decide that, I mean, I know this isn't going to happen, but maybe, good or bad, we can all just agree that if you like it, that's okay. And if you hate it, that's okay.
You know what? I think at this point, the fans are definitely lowering their expectations for this next one at the very least. And people should probably just stop learning not to depend on theory so much, and just to accept the fact that they're saying, hey, we're not repeating it. You guys keep mentioning that you don't want to repeat it, yet you ironically want things to be repeated. We're not going to do that. We're going to do something bold and new.
Guys, instead of theorizing about what the plot's going to be, theorize how Lando and Leia are going to die. Because we know they're going to die. So theorize about that. Theorize about the stuff you know is going to happen. Like, instead of saying, this is what I want to happen, say, this is how I want things to happen. That's how theories are supposed to be. You're supposed to say how, not what. Like, everybody was like, oh, Rey's parents should be Obi-Wan Kenobi. Don't get upset if her parents aren't Obi-Wan Kenobi. What are the odds that out of everybody in the world, she just so happened to be Obi-Wan's daughter? Maybe that's what the Netflix series is going to be about. Obi-Wan getting jiggy with it and making babies. I don't know if I called it a Netflix series. Disney Plus.
I saw some tapes of me making babies, making younglings.
Oh. Anakin thought he could get rid of the Jedi, eh? Not while I'm here. Bounce chicka bow, bounce chicka bow wow. He's got to repopulate. Okay. I think we're done with Star Wars. Meaning, we're finally there, ladies and gents. We're finally there. Callum, let's talk about Marvel.
All right, here we go. And introducing the one and only Marvel. Yes.
Oh, wait. Hold on. We forgot Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah.
How could we forget? He's right there.
Oh,
that was loud. But let's keep going. So, that was Goldblum trying to smite us.
I think we're getting
What's
something.
going on? What's happening?
ImperfectVanity is trying to join us, but I think something funny's really happening.
Oh, she is here.
Yes, she is here.
I've been here this whole time.
How long have you been here, Mel?
For the past 10 minutes or so.
Wait, did you hear the thing about Obi-Wan making babies?
Yes, I heard everything.
Whilst you were discussing that, I was literally typing her, oh, wait until we're done talking about Star Wars. You can join us. The more, the merrier.
Okay, well, welcome, Mel. We've talked about pretty much everything Disney Plus related except for two things.
Oh, why are you talking about that garbage?
What do you mean that garbage?
Okay, the only reason why I'm saying that is because I'm sorry, people need to start cutting it down a bit. It's a monopoly now, and I'm over it.
Look, I understand Disney is a monopoly, but it's a good monopoly.
A monopoly we're all a part of.
Good.
Marvel!
They're not good for
Star Wars! The motherfucking Muppets!
Okay, I'll give you one thing on the Muppets. Wait, what about the Muppets?
Oh, they're getting a
They're doing
TV show.
An improvised TV show. Literally.
Improv.
Wait, like, kind of similar to what they did before, but totally improv?
Yeah. It's unscripted Muppets road trip series.
Oh.
I think it could be good.
Um.
Okay, Mel, if you just want to, just real fast because you're here now. By the way, By the way, just so you're aware, I told everybody at the beginning of the show you were getting high at Thanos' weed farm. You were dancing with eagles. I think that's what I said.
No. Because if it was Thanos, okay, if we were getting high, we wouldn't be dancing with eagles because then that would look kind of patriotic. You know?
Well, Thanos is dead now. It's your weed farm.
Yep, it is my weed farm. I can enjoy it in peace.
Did you not see the animation? Thanos is dead. You get the weed farm. I took the Infinity Gauntlet.
No, I already told you forfeited the gauntlet. It's mine. So that's.
I'm sorry. The animation is canon, and in the animation, I got the gauntlet. So
we'll do a strike.
Okay, just talk about we've talked about pretty much everything Disney Plus except for Marvel, and Marvel's going to be the biggest part, obviously. But we haven't talked about Marvel or the Jeff Goldblum thing, so share your opinions on the other shit.
Okay, so as y'all know, I've been adjusting to my new life, so I've been doing a lot of catching up to do.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to movies and the media and all that shit, I still got a long way to go. Actually, not that long ago, I finally got to watch Endgame.
Woo!
And it's not as good as Infinity War, but it was still good.
I disagree, but keep going.
It just my only quiff with it was it dragged too much with certain things. It dragged way too much. That was really my only quip with it. Was just mostly in the beginning. Once the ball got rolling, then it became good for me. Being I didn't think that the beginning part was bad either. Being build a structure of what, skip a few years. Being show us what happens. When more than half of the universe is pretty much Thanos now. Sure, why the fuck not? But it just dragged too long. And I think I think also too my biggest quiff too, because I think you and I share similar opinions now with Captain Marvel.
Oh, you've seen Captain Marvel now?
I recall you not exactly hating it to the same extent as Kneale, but not exactly calling it the best either.
Okay. Before I get this mesh, let me do Captain Marvel first, since I saw that before Infinity War.
Okay.
It had my favorite parts honestly was Nick Fury and the cat.
Agreed.
Honestly, seeing Samuel L. Mother effing Jackson talk baby I do with my pet to this cat was fucking adorable, and I never thought I would live to see the day. Being yes, he's baby dogging a cat. Oh my god.
I also like Talos. I like the Skrull villain.
I did too.
I like him too, but I think the biggest crime was like Captain Marvel herself. She is such a she's more in depth in the comic books and some of the shows that she's featured in throughout the years.
But in the movie, she's breadsticks.
Essentially, so you got to I think the only positive they did with her was the whole entire, she doesn't recall her life on Earth because she's been with this group for so long. Mm-hmm. And I did like, some of the reveal to it, but I think that was also to her biggest downfall, and you didn't get to know her. Honestly, it got confusing at parts, being so are you and your friend lovers? Because they gave me that vibe. And then, of course, they leaned towards, no, we were really good friends, but they didn't make it clear. And I'm all about, if they finally decide to reveal, being oh, Captain Marvel was actually an LGBT villain. And I'm just okay, cool, awesome. But it's confusing.
Isn't Captain Marvel's boyfriend War Machine?
Yeah. In the comics, Captain Marvel and War Machine.
Yeah.
Bang.
In the film.
Well, what I'm saying is her being at least bisexual, you know what I mean? And finally make it revealed, but they made it in such a confusing way.
Also,
no.
Can I just say it? Look, listen to me.
I'm listening.
I don't know if anyone else in the world picked up on this. And this is the only outlet I have to share it, so I'll share it right here. Did anyone else ship War Machine and Nebula? Because I was shipping War Machine and Nebula.
Here we go again.
I liked it. What do you mean, here we go again? I've never brought this up, ever.
No, I don't recall him bringing this up, but no, I never actually thought of them as a couple.
I liked it. They sort of complimented each other. He liked her sort of sarcastic attitude. They both directly addressed each other when talking in the holograms. It was sort of the thing of maybe I'm thinking too far into it, but
I think
I'd like to see War Machine get some.
Certain things.
I don't know. I want.
Right. But besides shipping, that can be another subject for another day. But no, I don't think Captain Marvel was the worst, but when it comes to if I had to pick, because I wasn't a huge total fan of Wonder Woman, but if I had to pick who did it better with a female superhero movie, it'd have to go to Wonder Woman. At least you got to know her, and you got to see how she was, and without that a lot of screen time for it, but they did it enough. And here it was just it was kind of scattered, and I've never been the type that always fonded over that that non-linear jumping back and forth, unless the script was written really, really well for it to make sense, being okay, cool, but it's not the worst Marvel movie out there, but it's not the best. So that's how I feel about it.
Here's the thing. I said this in our episode. I disliked Captain Marvel in her movie, but in-game made me utterly hate her. Because in that, she's just gone the entire time. She shows up at the very end, does two things, and then it's done. She didn't even go back with them. She didn't go back to the past.
Yeah, that was the other part. Right. That's the other thing that I was real confused by, was how much we didn't really see her. We only really saw her in parts of the beginning, and then she's gone for the majority of the movie, and then she comes back when they all get together again, and they figure out what was that one thing that Doctor Strange said. And so Infinity War is Endgame. It's not, like I said, my problems with it was some of the character development, also a lot of things dragged in the beginning, But then once it started getting good, it started getting good. But I will say my only favorite was seeing Thor. That was genius.
Oh, I loved Fat Thor. I loved that there is now an Avenger I could accurately cosplay.
Right. So Eli actually got to see it in theaters before, like, you know, I finally got off the street and moved in with him. He said that the best part about that was hearing all the girls scream no. And he was there screaming yes.
Oh, I was screaming yes, too. I was like, thank you, God. Because, look, I'm not going to talk about representation as if I'm oppressed, you know, generic fat white dude. But it was nice to see a fat dude in a superhero movie. I mean, I had that and I had Ned from Spider-Man. That was it. And
Korg is awesome.
Korg's not really fat. Korg's a rock beast.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. We're still talking about fat people. Sorry.
Well,
Yeah, we're talking about fat people. Get out of here.
And for me, it was kind of like what happened with Thor, in my opinion, was one of the most realistic things to see like a character go through, because you know, after Thanos, you know, pretty much said being like, you should have cut me at the head with, you know, Infinity War, and that, you know, and his shit happened, you know, Thor was, you know, driven by depression and guilt, and being like, yeah, this actually makes sense to people too. They doesn't want to
became a fat alcoholic.
Mm-hmm.
It was very real. Very real.
Right, because I know a lot of people who would, you know, so when they get depressed, that they start, you know, becoming, you know, lazy, and, you know, they start to, you know, indulge in certain habits that are not good for you, and so that was realistic.
And think about it this way: now Thor's got a little arc for Love and Thunder.
He does, but otherwise, in Infinity War Endgame. I just saw it like a couple days ago, so you have to pardon, like.
Yeah, we forgive you.
But
you were the last one.
Right. Well, it was better for me to see it than not see it at all, because like I wasn't sure when or where I would actually get out of my, you know, situation. So a lot of things I had to sacrifice, like being like, can't just walk to the movie theater whenever I want.
Oh yeah.
And still kind of can't, because I'm still like no job. But
we'll get back to Disney Plus in just a second. But can I just say, I want to know everyone's opinions. Aren't you guys happy that Avatar is no longer the #1 movie?
Oh, definitely. I never liked Avatar. Like, this is what I tell people: Avatar is a good movie if you press the mute button and you watch it like that.
What I've been told is Avatar is a good movie if you haven't seen a movie before.
Right. Like, I've never bought the, you know, the full hype, because I saw it years ago, like when it first came out. And I remember spending that ticket price, and I was sitting there being like, okay, this took them 10 years. This took them a decade. Like, yeah, in the CGI effects.
It was a phenomenon
graphics,
when it came out.
Well, yeah, well, because it took them 10 years to make this.
Whoa.
And, you know, and all that. And you could tell with the animation and the graphics and all that, beautifully done. Everything else was just bland. Like, story was bland, characters were bland, and it was also too being like, I feel like I'm back in the 90s watching all these environmental films of, you know, this is what people do to the environment. I was like, yeah, if I really want to watch that, I'll watch like 90s cartoon movies like Ferngully. At least then they have Fatty.
I'd rather watch Ferngully than Avatar. It's shorter.
Well, yeah, and it proves the point. And there's so many movies like it where it's just like, if you're going to make an environmental film about how humanity can like destroy a planet, could have went about it a different way, instead of like looking at, let's look at every 90s cliche.
Tail sex. Save the environment. Tail sex.
Yeah, that was weird. Being like, why do we need that? But otherwise,
Word of the
I'm glad that it's no longer like the number one.
An embarrassment. Avatar was too big.
Before
Yeah,
we move
Gal?
on, I want Mel to have the rant of a lifetime. Mel, give us your opinions on Frozen 2, please.
What have you done? What have you done?
Unleashed Pandora's box.
You weren't ready to play with God.
Frozen 2, huh? Frozen 2. Frozen 2.
Mel?
Frozen 2. Frozen
Mel?
2. What the fuck is wrong with everybody? Why? The fuck? This is stupid. It's stupid. Everything about it's stupid. Why? The first movie ended fine. As much as I didn't like it, it fucking ended. It was fine. Why do I need to give you had one movie to fucking make me care about Elsa. You had one movie. You fucked it up then. Oh no. I said you have to just throw salt in my wound. Because Disney has to make it. Where's my actual official Cinderella 2? Where's that shit? Where's my official... That's not DVD release. That I should make clear. I mean, like, that was not a DVD reboot. No. No. No.
I'm scared.
I'm excited.
Oh, okay. I did watch the trailer a couple weeks ago. I didn't think it was going to happen. I was just like, no. People are not this fucking stupid. People are not sheep. Who asked for it? But I did. I did watch it. It looks fucking terrible. I am not paying any movie. If people want me to see the full thing, they can pay for my ticket. I have a PayPal. Just let me know. But otherwise, just like, no, I'll wait for this to come out on Hulu or
Tell you
whatever.
what. Audience, I'm going to make you a deal right now. If we get, this is never going to happen, but if we get 1,000 subscribers before Frozen 2 comes out, I will fly to Mel's place of living and I will take her to see the movie and we'll do a video review.
Bet.
1,000 subscribers. You give me 1,000 subscribers, I'll do it.
Bet. Oh my God. Why do people even want this? The first one wasn't that good. I'm sorry. I'll be the one to fucking say, and I'll scream it from the rooftops. I don't care. Why a second one? Why the fuck a second one? There's no point. It ended.
To have money.
Yes.
Shit about the money. Yeah, Hollywood would probably be the only ones benefiting from this garbage.
Mel, I'm going to give you a hypothetical.
No.
Would you rather have Frozen 2 or would you rather have Frozen the live action remake?
I'd rather have the Frozen live action remake because all the remakes so far I've seen suck. At least then I'll know that it's going to suck. At least it's honest and being like, okay, it gets its own live action shitty reboot.
At least it's the enemy you're familiar with.
Yes. And don't get me started on that shit. Like you like.
No, let's not get you started on that shit.
No, keep going. This is bliss.
Stop this, Callum. No, we're so off topic.
No, Frozen 2 can go in the garbage. And for those who actually like it, you're the reason I fear that humanity will not make it in the next decade.
And remember, if you want Mel to see it, you have a way.
Yeah, as Eli said in the background, why didn't they make this Frozen? Frozen, Walt Disney's Cryo, his awakening.
Actually, there is a movie called The Decapitated Head of Walt Disney, and it's like a comedy movie.
Right. But no, it's stupid. It's why it wasn't that good. It wasn't. It out of all the, because yes, Disney has its notorious reputation for taking old fairy tales, a lot of which were dark, and turn it kid friendly, but out of every single fucking one, they took the worst liberties, creative liberties with this, being like, this wasn't even close to the original source material at all. If they made what they originally were going to do and made Elsa the villain, I would have actually loved the movie, because at least then it would have been accurate, or somewhat accurate. Like, yeah, they didn't have to bring, they don't have to bring in like the dark stuff. I get censorship, I get Disney's thing, but it's just stupid. Stupid, it's stupid, it's stupid, it's stupid, it's stupid, it's stupid, it's stupid.
And that's how I feel about Maleficent too, everybody. Just take everything she just said and copy and paste.
Oh no, we're going to start on Maleficent too.
No, don't.
Whoever asked for that, I don't care. You unleashed Pandora's box. You're getting Pandora's box. You're getting what's inside.
It's not even Pandora's box. They just opened the gates to hell and said, come shit on the earth.
Yep. Your own fault, kids. Maleficent too. Who the fuck asked for it? Who the fuck asked for it? All
single mothers.
No, I don't care who it is. I don't care if it was babies. Innocent babies. Whoever should be, they should not have voting rights when they're old. Like, motherfuckers.
Just Mel pointing at a baby. You don't get to vote. You liked Maleficent.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Oh,
okay.
please.
Why he wants so
I thought you were gonna say let's kill them all, but you somehow made it weirder.
What can I say?
Yeah, because I don't promote people. At least not in public. That's something I do on the side.
Yeah.
How do you?
Oh, I don't know why I agreed with that. No. I just subconsciously was like, yeah, I kill babies.
But no, but with unlike Frozen, where it's just like Frozen. This will be the only positive thing I'll say. Frozen at least has some merit and sense, even though it ended on a conclusive note, and it's not necessary, but then at least that makes sense. Maleficent had its chance to make her a villain in the fucking first one, and look what they did to that. Shat on it. And now they're trying to make her into this badass villain, being like, nope, too late. You had your chance. You're wasting everyone's time. And the shit that we've read about, like bringing in the fucking Snow Queen? The Snow fucking what is this? It feels like Once Upon a Time all over again. Just like, do you just want to ship shit all over the fucking place?
No, it's okay. No, it's okay. Hug me. You're going to be okay.
No,
Mel, you're going to be okay. You're going to be okay, Mel. We're going to get through this.
No, the only way I'll get through this is if people actually sign a petition to say not to make at least Maleficent. I can't say anything about Frozen 2 because everybody's idiots when it comes to that.
It'll be okay, Mel. It'll be okay.
No.
All right. We got. You're right. It's not going to be okay. The movies are going to be terrible, but we got to get back on topic. Jeff Goldblum has been waiting patiently.
What can I say except you're welcome? Yes. Jeff Goldblum.
Don't even get me started on it.
Well, just real fast before you get started. We've talked about everything except for Marvel and Jeff Goldblum, so did you have opinions on Obi-Wan, the TV show? Did you have opinions on Cassian and K2SO or the new Phineas and Ferb, Hilary Duff? I mean Lizzie McGuire, not Hilary Duff.
I know what you meant by that. So, okay. So, I did not actually see the show Phineas and Ferb when it came out because people forget how old I am. And when Phineas and Ferb came out, that was when my Disney and everyone's Disney before pretty much totally changed for good on the Disney Channel. So I don't have a good or a bad opinion about it. It's just like it was past my time. It was past my prime. I didn't get to watch it. Unfortunately, like whether you view it fortunately or unfortunately, that's really up to you. So I don't have any opinions about Phineas and Ferb. Like I know some of the references, like I know about the platypus, but that's as far as it gets. So I have no opinion about that.
Do yourself a favor. When I get Disney Plus, I'll give you my password. Just go watch Phineas and Ferb. Just do yourself a favor. Just
Okay.
don't tell her anything. Just go watch Phineas and Ferb. Watch like 3 seasons. You'll love it.
Right. But that's my opinion about that, is I have no opinions. And also, too, for the audience, I don't actually think everyone who likes Frozen is an idiot. I just don't like the movie, and I respect everyone's opinion. I just want to make that clear. I just get
She was trying to be funny, audience. She was trying to be funny. And succeeded.
But, okay, so no piece of that. The Lizzie McGuire reboot, I heard about it, and I'm kind of up in the air just because, like, I grew up with that. That was something I grew up with. That was, like, probably one of the last shows I ever watched on Disney Channel before it honestly turned into shit, in my opinion. And I watched it from the very beginning all the way to the movie where it ended, and, you know, I thought it was a cute show, and I enjoyed it. As a reboot, it's just like, it's been years since I've seen the show. So I only saw it when it was airing, and that was pretty much it. Did not go out of my way to buy the DVDs, not, you know, try to collect it. And I have a 50-50, you know, standpoint when it comes to rebooting, you know, shows that are nostalgic. It really depends on how well they do it. Like, if they were able to get the whole, you know, cast back in a reason, then I think it might be good. And also, if they have the original, kind of like Invader Sim Enter the Florapus, I love the fact they brought back everybody. And since they didn't have the reign of Nickelodeon anymore to hold them down, they were allowed to do whatever they wanted. And we just watched that, and that will be for a different episode. Because Invader Sim's not Disney.
Invader Zim is not Disney.
And I plan on making a reaction of it soon, but we still need to watch the Rocko's Modern Life reboot too. But otherwise, it's just like, it really depends on how they go. But I'm a little scared because they still are under Disney's foot, unlike Invader Zim. I don't know how well they'll do it. Like, I think the best example for me was I caught like a couple episodes of Fuller House. That's the best way I can describe it. It's
God.
Like it kind of reminds me of that. And I only caught a couple episodes, and I was just like, this isn't the Full House that I know. I appreciate what they're trying to do, but
I can't even describe my opinions of Fuller House. I think I love it and hate it.
Right, but
you ever been in an abusive relationship? That's what Fuller House is. It's kind of like you like the person, but at the same time, they're not good for you. That's Fuller House.
I can attest to that because I was actually in an abusive relationship a long time ago.
Me too.
Oh, really?
Well, we can talk about that off camera. Let's not.
Yeah, we can talk about that not on camera.
Right, but otherwise, Hillary, the Lindsay McGuire show, I'm kind of like 50-50 on, just because like it could be like Fuller. I unleashed my own Pandora's box. Yeah, they're rebooting, Lindsay McGuire.
Stop.
What?
Nope.
Hold on.
Nope.
I don't.
Oh God.
Nope. Nope.
No, she's coming back. Oh God. No, you're not getting Disney Plus. You can't afford it. Oh, I guess now he's excited. Like, first he said that he was gonna hate it if Hillary Duff came back, and I was like, no, I'm pretty sure she's, that she's coming back. And then he's just like, and then he got fangirl because he loves the show.
Brilliant. Love it.
Anyway, I think it depends. So it could end up being like Fuller House, or it could be better. So like I said, I only saw a few episodes, and it didn't catch my interest, being like, this isn't the Full House that I know, and I get that it's, it's many years later and all that shit. And I'm also too tired of like the modern day approaches to a lot of this shit. It's just like, you don't need to, you don't have to. At least with Lindsay McGuire, it makes sense because of the time that it aired. That's my opinion on that. Now Star Wars.
Yes, that aborted fetus that didn't quite make it.
They're talking about the shows that are coming up, not the movies. Eli, calm down.
Wow.
So which shows are they coming out for on Disney Plus again? You said an Obi-Wan Kenobi, and I thought you guys said Mandalorian.
Won't make a movie, but we'll make a show.
Hello?
Yeah, we pretty much already discussed all that stuff about Star Wars.
Hello? Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Yeah, we can hear each other. We can all hear each other, and we are family.
What I was asking was which shows is Disney Plus going to do? Because I heard something about The Mandalorian when I jumped in, and I heard about Obi-Wan, and that's pretty much all I heard.
Well, there's also a Cassian Andor and K2SO spinoff from Rogue One.
So there's a K2SO spinoff.
Yeah, Cassian and K2SO.
And Cassian. I don't know if I've ever talked about my opinions about Rogue One.
You have, and me and Ron said it was the best one.
Right. So I always viewed it as like it was an unnecessary film, in my opinion, even though from just what I've heard, because I haven't watched any of the recent movies yet, and that's including Solo. I haven't seen it, but I've heard that all the Star Wars movies thus far are, that wasn't Rogue One, were way worse than Rogue One, which I'm in fear of. And we've talked about it in the past. But
I mean, I'll speak about Solo just for a second. Let's not get into it. It's fine. It's not boring. It's fine.
Right, but what I'm saying too is that because I viewed Rogue One to be an unnecessary film, I'm not quite sold or hyped about the Cassius and the if they were characters in Rogue One, honey. Just continue with your laundry. be in your bliss, my love.
What I think I said this to Callum. Why did they choose one of the most boring characters in the form of Cassian? Like, I wanted to see Chirrut and Baze Malbus, the show. The blind guy and the gun guy. For those out there beyond the Reactaholics studio that didn't watch Rogue One. Are we a studio? We're a studio now.
I don't know if I don't think we're like that big
We're a studio.
Yet.
I am currently standing outside in my studio.
Okay. But I don't have any opinions about that just because I did not care for Rogue One like a lot of people did at all, being like, hey, I kind of view it unnecessary. And you watch it for James Earl Jones coming back as Darth Vader. That's pretty much like, yes, that was the best part of the movie. So,
not even kidding. I get chills whenever I think about the Rogue One Darth Vader scene. I legitimately get chills.
Because that was the best scene of the movie.
It's such a goddamn good scene.
If only if it was like 2 minutes longer. We need more of that shit. But no, so I don't have a real opinion about that. And especially since this will be the first time I heard about those spinoffs, and it's just like, okay, I didn't care much for Rogue One. I found it an unnecessary film.
Okay.
So I don't really care.
I think we should now move on to either Jeff Goldblum or Marvel. Your choice.
She's got to talk about Obi-Wan.
So Obi-Wan, I think he's a good character to start having his own show. But at the same time, I'm a Clone Wars fan, too.
Well, I didn't even mention this when we talked about Star Wars. Guys, Clone Wars is coming back on Disney+.
Ooh.
Yeah, whole new season.
Ooh.
But
so there you go. Continue about Obi-Wan.
But you see, like, for those who haven't seen the Clone Wars at all, or watch that shit, it's amazing. But because Clone Wars is out, I don't really see like the full point of making an Obi-Wan show. I mean, I wasn't expecting that, that's for sure, because people were talking about giving other characters their own spin-offs, which I didn't like, I didn't know how to feel about it. Like, I heard that what's his name? Boba Fett. I heard Boba Fett was supposed to get his own show for quite a while.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, that. Like, I get why people like Boba Fett. I'm one of the few people who's just like, Boba Fett's really not that awesome.
I'm with you.
He's awesome looking, he's awesome sounding, but it's just like, you forget how many times that he's quote unquote died in the films.
Every time he shows up in the movies, he's like Mr. Magoo.
Pretty much.
Like, he just Mr. Magoo's himself into trouble. Like, my jetpack's not working. Whoa!
I mean, I'm totally fine with them making a Mandalorian show.
Mm-hmm.
Just focusing on the Mandalorian like culture and the people, and then maybe throw in Boba Fett, since he's really the most famous out of all the Mandalorian, because not many people know much about them unless they've like read books, comic books, and other shit on the side.
There's some good comics about Boba Fett. I could tell stories, but I won't, because I won't.
But otherwise, I don't really, I think Obi-Wan out of all the characters is kind of an interesting choice, but I think we got plenty of him from Clone Wars, where it's just like, you kind of really don't need it, but I'm not opposed to seeing it.
I mean, with Ewan McGregor, we can only hope it's going to be good.
Right. But that's all we can do, is that we can only hope.
A new hope. All right, Jeff Goldblum, you've been patient. It's your turn. Let's talk about Jeff Goldblum's show. So let me just give the synopsis. What?
Go ahead.
What was that?
Sorry. Go ahead.
Let me just give the synopsis that was told to me about the Jeff Goldblum show. So essentially, the show is about Jeff Goldblum just sitting around, and then Jeff Goldblum will go, "Oh, I want to play basketball." And then a movie crew will film him playing basketball and tell like the history of basketball. Or if he goes, "I want to know how noodles are made." And then a movie crew will go and film Jeff Goldblum in a noodle factory learning how noodles are made. So the show is essentially, in my mind, just, they should call it Jeff Goldblum is bored. This is how we deal with that.
Yeah. This is the first time I'm hearing about this. I did not know that Jeff Goldblum's getting a show like that.
It's for the Discovery Channel.
Wait, the Discovery Channel's feature? Okay.
Oh,
yeah, people didn't realize it, but Disney owns everything.
Because it's a monopoly that needs to be taken down.
But it's a good monopoly.
No, monopolies are never
Look,
good.
as a business, it's a bad thing, but they give out good stuff. Go ahead, Callum. Talk about Jeff.
Jeff Goldblum, he is such a fascinating man, and seeing him just do this, all the more fascinating. Neil, you made a joke one time of Jeff Goldblum doing this Mr. Rogers parody. I could just imagine them at the intro for every single episode. It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood. I always wanted
a beautiful day for a neighbor. Would you be mine? Could you be mine?
Would you please be my
my neighbor?
My neighbor.
Look, all I'm saying is I don't know if I'm gonna watch it, but you can't deny that there's a certain charm to just learning about shit while Jeff Goldblum is just bored. Just Jeff Goldblum sitting down playing video games or something and goes, you know what? I want to know how video games are made. Film it.
Well, okay, so if you really want me to get down deep.
To business. To defeat the Huns.
Pretty much, but you really want me to get down to business about it, just from what I heard.
Yeah.
One, it sounds like he's kind of ripping off several shows that I know. Like, as soon as, you mentioned being like, he's just sitting there playing a video game, being like, I wonder how this is made. And it's just like, well, there's now a lot of shows based on, like, the truth or, like, what you actually don't know or how this is actually made and stuff like that. Like,
no, I think you're missing the big piece of originality, though. Jeff Goldblum's in it.
Okay. I think it sounds funny because it is Jeff Goldblum. I mean, It's Jeff Goldblum. And in my personal opinion, if you want to wrap this in a package of being like Jeff Goldblum's getting his own show about how things are made and created, I think that's going to be something that people are going to have to be inebriated.
I mean, I think that I don't know what the episodes are going to be. This could be the most boring thing in the world. But if somebody is going to teach me things, it might as well be Jeff Goldblum.
Life finds a way.
Yeah, what if what did they actually do an episode where he talks about dinosaur bones?
The butterfly.
Eli said that should be the first episode. It's like episode 1, Jurassic Park.
Yeah. I would like it much better if it was like, hey, listen, this show is going to be me asking you guys what are things like and us learning together, but for together. I said together. But us learning together. But for this first episode, let me tell you about the behind the scenes to Jurassic Park. I'd like that.
Right.
How about this? Jeff Goldblum learns how to talk properly.
Jeff Goldblum learns about Shakespeare. I'd watch that episode.
To be or not to be.
What softly under yonder window breaks.
Oh my God. I think this is going to be a show that if you want to find, and it's not out yet, and this is just me from just hearing about this today. Mm-hmm. If it's going to work, then you might want to send people some complimentary stuff to inebriate them.
I was just about to say, this sounds like the best thing to watch while drunk or high. I was just about to say that.
Jurassic World.
But with
World.
that,
where art thou?
Jurassic World. But we've made it past. We're at the pearly gates, folks. It's time to talk about Marvel. We're here. So, do we want to go in order of the shows?
I have actually no idea.
Just shut up and talk about Hawkeye already.
Well, thank you, Callum. Thank you. But I had to say, I can't shut up and talk. I can't do both. So I'm going to go with the talk one. So, everybody, I'm just going to go ahead and talk about Hawkeye. I've written something. It's on my phone. Now, I know that they're going to make fun of me, but just realize everything I have written is real. This was the night I found out that the Hawkeye show is coming. And it's specifically about me looking at the logo. Here we go. You guys ready?
Yep.
Yes.
I want to be cliche and write, I don't know what to write here. But the truth is, I know exactly what to say. I have lived my entire life in sort of a weird state. I've never actually met my dad. And that's a weird way to grow up as a kid. You sort of latch on to things. Your parents are the first thing you latch on to. But stuff like entertainment as well. When you find characters like yourself, you sort of use that stuff to express yourself. For me, that would be Clinton Francis Barton, aka Hawkeye. This character had an abusive father and had a great story to go with it. It's about overcoming things, whether it be going death, hero envy against the people who have superpowers, or in general, just the evils that plague us every day. I honestly am not 100% sure of where I was going with this, but I'm going to keep going. I have cared for this character since I was a little kid and found out his costume was purple, and purple happened to be my favorite color. Slowly but surely, this character became a huge part of my life, climbing the ranks even up to Spider-Man and Batman as my favorite superhero of all time. Every story I read or see with this character is just great. And I love having this character in my heart. And yes, I know it's cheesy, but he's in my heart.
You'll be in his heart. You'll be in his
Oh, I'm not done. This is just paragraph 1. Paragraph 1 of 2.
Now and forevermore.
It's okay. This is a good soundtrack. But, just continuing. In Earth's Mightiest Heroes, I truly saw the potential of what this character could be. With such iconic scenes that were almost solely because of him. Firing Ant-Man from an arrow. Firing explosives into the Hulk and saying, tick, tick, boom. Then they explode. Hawkeye by far was the character in the Avengers that was most like me. Not only because he had a wit, he made jokes, and he was funny, but also because he didn't have superpowers. When I read Hawkeye, My Life as a Weapon, I truly saw what should be a movie or a TV show. This character has followed me my entire life, changing as I change, and has always been there, in movies, comic books, or TV shows. I'm sitting here looking at this logo, smiling. A few tears have fell, and I'm just so excited. I'm excited to see Kate Bishop. I'm excited to see Lucky the dog. I'm excited to see this character that I have loved so long and I have so much faith in, hopefully, capture the hearts of a few new people. Yeah, I realize there's a chance this show could suck. Or maybe it's more about Kate Bishop than it is Hawkeye and it ends up sucking. But I gotta say, the lone fact that this character has finally reached the point where he gets a TV show is ungodly surprising to me. I never thought we'd get this day. If you asked me last year, I would have told you he's probably going to die in Endgame. But now I'm happy. Sitting here literally happy. I will literally strive to make myself live until this show comes out and I watch every episode. I can't really describe how I'm feeling. I can't. But I still know what to say. I know exactly what to say. And that is, thank you.
You're welcome.
You weren't the one who made the show, Cal.
Specifically you, Callum. Thank you.
I'm not going to lie, I was kind of waiting for a but there, but...
Where I was like, but really, this show is going to be garbage. Fuck you, Disney. No, I'm excited, man. This is my favorite superhero.
I mean, I think that there are some superheroes out there that do deserve to be, to have their own shows. And I do agree that, like, Hawkeye's been one of those ones that have been pushed under the radar for so long. And I kind of agreed with you on Endgame. Like, I actually, you don't know who's going to, go. Of course, because they kept that shit under lock and key and pretty much tortured us with it. Being like, oh, no. There will not be any spoilers today. You'll just have to watch it. And luckily for Endgame, unlike Infinity War, I didn't have people actually trying to spoil the movie for me this round. That's the other positive I'll say about Endgame, was unlike Infinity War, where people were, tagging me and stuff and
spoiling the shit out of it.
Right, where I had to avoid it like the plague, and that's why if you are following me on Stardust, shameless plug, ImperfectVanity, just simple words, but where I had to actually pretty much tell in my own way, being like, stop, I want to see this. So I'm glad that nobody spoiled Endgame for me, so that I was able to watch it. And, yeah, I didn't get to see it in the theater, but it still felt, it still felt right. So, and I was scared that Hawkeye was going to be the one to die just because, he's grown since.
Mm-hmm. I remember me and my friends, before we saw the movie, we were talking, and everybody was saying, so how hard do you think you're going to cry when he dies? And I said, I might bawl. I may audibly gasp. And he didn't die, and I was happy. And he was so important in the movie. Like, I love him.
Right. Like, at first, when he was first introduced, him and Widow were really pushed in the background. You could tell that they were meant to be secondary characters at first, being like, but of course, with Marvel with the MCU, at least they were able to grow. But I still felt in some way that he got kind of left behind, because then Widow started, getting out of the shadows, and became like a huge role.
Yeah.
And then finally, with with Endgame especially, you got to actually see both of them step out of the limelight of being the secondary to being like, no, they are in the Avengers. They are legit people of the team. And I cried during that scene. And for those who haven't seen it, I'm not going to say, but for those of you who know, that was the one scene I cried.
The scene she is referencing happens, it has something to do with the Soul Stone. That's all we're going to say.
Pretty much, and we all know how that shit goes down. But I think it's as long as they do it right, I think it's a smart move bringing like people like Hawkeye and getting their own shows, especially since I think that the show, if I remember it, because I know there's been talks about a Widow movie for a long while.
You might have missed Comic-Con. The Widow movie is the first Marvel movie of 2020.
Okay. Yeah, I was still homeless and struggling out on the street probably then. So I missed a lot of stuff with the Comic-Con.
You haven't talked to us in a while. I was elated about this.
You guys need to stick into, stay in touch, motherfuckers.
I will, man. I'll come see you if we get 1,000 subscribers.
Watch, that's going to be the first thing Callum does, is like tell people, being like, hey, help us get to 1,000.
Yes, much like how I had to thank Callum for the Hawkeye TV show. Callum will also get us 1,000 subscribers.
I really do. Well, let's not hold our breaths. If he's able to, my God. But I think it's a good idea that he's getting his own show, and especially, I don't know, is it coming out this year or next year?
No, 2021. I got the date saved on my calendar.
Watching afterwards, that's when Kneale can officially die. Is that
not even kidding? I've thought about it. I literally, okay, this is kind of an off tangent, but it has a point. I hate the taste of water. I absolutely hate how it tastes. So I don't drink water. I just drink soda and juice. And then my friend Kyle, he's been in the show before. My friend Kyle was like, Kneale, if you keep drinking soda like that, you might die before Hawkeye comes out. And then I sort of frowned and took the water. I feel like that is the ultimate trump card. If someone's like, Kneale, don't do this, you'll die before you can watch Hawkeye. I won't do it.
Maybe at least you could drink some fruit juice.
I like fruit juice. I do drink fruit juice. I drink grape juice is like my favorite. Moving on from the juice. Callum, did you have opinions on Hawkeye?
I'm happy. I'm happy that you're happy. I'm happy.
Thanks, man. I can't... Look, I know that I've already said a lot, but sitting there, looking at the screen, watching Jeremy Renner talk, it was just it was like knowing something for a very long time, like knowing there's potential here, and finally seeing there's a chance that that potential will be shown to the rest of the world. Because the logo they used is specifically from the Fracture run of Hawkeye, which is really, really good. There's a whole like comic about Hawkeye going through this stuff with the mob, but it's from the perspective of his dog, Lucky. So a lot of the words don't make sense, and the images sort of have to show you what's happening, and it's so good. Kate Bishop is such a great character, and she's going to come in. We're going to see more of his time as Ronin, and dear God, please just show that man at the circus. Please show his origin. All right, I'm done. Well, I have one more thing to say.
Okay.
Jeremy Renner, you are the perfect actor. Make this work. All right, I'm done. I'm done. Also, if you would like to give me a cameo in the TV show, you don't have to pay me. You know what?
God.
I'll buy my own plane ticket. I'll buy my own plane ticket. Let me be in it.
Stop!
Okay, we're done.
Let everybody. So like I said, I think it's a good idea, and the one thing I'm also too hoping for with Hawkeye, and this is if it's good, and if it's done right, I'm hoping that other people, I'm hoping that this will give like a resurrection characters who need their resurrection from the Marvel comic books, especially since a lot of people only got into Marvel because of the MCU. Like I hate having to like explain that to people, being like there are actual Marvel fans, and then there's specifically
the
MCU fans, but it doesn't mean I don't like the MCU, because there's a lot of comic books to read. I expect people to be able to find every single copy. There's some copies of certain comic books that are out of print where it's just like you have to look in the crevices of the internet and pay like probably a shitload to
speaking of that, Mel. Speaking of that, what they announced at the Disney Plus panel, some of those obscure characters you're talking about are also getting shows. But first, I think we have to talk about the ones that are in the MCU, because these got announced first.
Okay.
So the first one is Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which will feature the return of Baron Zemo and Agent 13. It is going to be about Falcon taking on the role of Captain America and sort of be a transition that directly leads into the movies.
Making him Captain Falcon.
Yes, technically he is Captain Falcon. Show me your shield.
God. Show me your moves.
But
all right,
look,
that doesn't sound bad.
Bring in Baron Zemo back. That's a good idea.
I think it's a good idea for that a lot, and I think it's also a smart way, because I was nervous hearing that that Spider-Man would be the last movie from this arc, and I was kind of worried about how they were going to transition everything with the next phase. And I think that doing it that way in a show that transitions into the movies, it's a good idea. So that way, because I don't know if I'm the only one who feels this. I think Callum has said his opinions about it before, but I'm officially know what it's like with the Marvel fatigue. And I think it's a good way to help people who are experiencing that, who's just like, I don't want to see, I can't keep up with the movies. I want to fucking break. I think that's a good idea, but that's only if they get Disney Plus. Otherwise, I don't think it's smart doing it as a only for this reason. Otherwise, it's, it sounds fine. It sounds good. I'm interested in it. But if for those who don't get Disney Plus, and if they do it that way and have it transition into the movies, and people are not willing to pay the Disney Plus prices, or they don't have friends that will share passwords or anything like that, they're going to be hella lost when they do go to see the movie and being like, wait, what all happened?
Yeah. I mean, that's a gamble, but, we all have the internet these days. It's $5. People can get it. Callum, do you have opinions specifically on Falcon and the Winter Soldier?
Should be a fun buddy cop show, and looking forward to see Captain Falcon showing
buddy cop show.
Well, that's exactly what it's.
Well, apparently they're taking a lot of inspiration from Winter Soldier. So, the Captain American movie.
Yeah.
So apparently it's supposed to be decently serious.
Decently serious.
Winter Soldier was serious.
No, just the way you said decently serious. I'm just like, that just sounds like a vague, limbo of serious being like either it's serious or it's not serious. There's usually never an in-between.
Well, the Marvel movies have gotten that sort of in-between. Like, think about it this way. We laughed at him, but the reason Thor is fat is because he became an alcoholic and got depressed. They balanced that pretty well.
And riddled him with guilt.
Yeah.
They're also making shows about Loki and Scarlet Witch, I believe.
Yeah, so there's the Loki show.
All right, flat out the floodgates. Here we go.
Okay.
That's been one of the few characters that I used to love in any version that he's ever been in. I mean, shit, that was pretty much why they made Thor and all that, was to kind of modernize the Norse mythos, right? And it was fine. It was awesome. But unfortunately, because of the fandom that's surrounded with Loki, I'm not excited about the show. I don't really think he needs a show, and I'm not going to hear the end of that.
Before you want to clock that in as your final answer, would you like to hear the synopsis?
About Loki, isn't it?
The show is about Loki, but it's about a specific Loki.
Dornese, baby. Hold on, my cat's biting me. Ow, ow, Dornese.
Oh. I like how cute it was at first. Like, oh, my cat's biting me. Ow! God damn it!
Hey, baby, you gotta be nice to me. I'm your mama.
Okay,
go.
Here's the synopsis, friends. Straight after Loki gets the Tesseract in Endgame, he goes on a Doctor Who-style time-traveling adventure where he will encounter a new friend and potentially cause some mayhem. Obviously, I added in my own sort of flair with that synopsis. But the whole theory is, and not really a theory, I guess this is my theory, but everybody else is like, oh, he's going to travel through time and fuck with time. But my theory is he's not going to travel through time. He's going to do what we saw in Endgame, and he's going to travel to all the other Marvel movies and fuck with them.
So now I'm officially clocking my answer. I don't care for it.
Okay, well, there you go.
Well,
Even
one,
if Loki was just
we have a lot of superheroes or characters in general that do a lot of the fourth wall breaks and the messing up with universes. And I get that Loki, especially like your Norse mythology, he is the god of mischief, being like.
The good news is this is still evil Loki. This is right after he got Hulk smashed and beat by the Avengers. So we're seeing, I mean, I don't want to be that guy to state this and then it be someone else, but potentially this could be the first Marvel thing that focuses on a villain.
Yeah. I personally think the Loki thing it's been done to death.
Mm.
To death, and I'm quite honestly, and all the fanboys and girls of Loki can come after me. I don't care. Loki.
We'll put her address in the comics.
I have my address, but Loki is honestly, out of all of the Marvel villains, he is overseen, he is overrated, and he's not interesting anymore. He's not. I'm not saying I hate the character. I don't.
Speaking of not interesting anymore, we have reached the 2-hour mark, Chris says, and I'm getting quite tired myself.
Don't worry, we're almost done. Keep going, Mel.
And if you want to make a Loki show, fine. It's not the worst thing I've heard that has been made in my lifetime. But, I'm not interested in it. I don't care to see it. Being like, the only way that I will see it is if people tell me, being like, oh, it's connected to this movie, so you at least need to watch it, and being like, okay, fine, and I'll just power through it, being like, okay, just get it done and over with. But Loki to me is an overrated character. He's, and also too, he's just the cliche of people liking the bad boy, and I've been over that for years, and I'm not saying it's going to be bad, and I'm not saying I hate the character. He's just overdone at this point, and I'd like to see somebody else who's a villain step into the limelight for a second and let Loki take a backseat.
I agree. Give Taserface a movie. No, but speaking of that interconnectivity, WandaVision, which is a show about Scarlet Witch and Vision living together sitcom style, but then there's some darker undertones to it. Maybe some House of M for those comic readers out there, which I have just been calling Super Marvel Party because a lot of the side characters are going to be here. A grown-up version of Monica Rambeau from Captain Marvel is going to be in this. The cop from Ant-Man and the Wasp, like the guy who made sure that his ankle bracelet didn't go off, he's going to be in this. Darcy, Kat Dennings from Thor Ragnarok and Dark World, she's coming back. It's just like, hey, side characters we haven't seen for a little bit. Come here. Get in WandaVision. And if that wasn't enough, WandaVision will lead directly into Doctor Strange 2, the movie. And Scarlet Witch is going to be in that movie.
Well,
Callum,
you
go first.
Well, I was going to say mine real quick. Mine's really quick.
Okay, go ahead.
You had my interest when you said it was phasing in a Doctor Strange 2. So I don't need a reason to not see it.
But the Asian guy from Ant-Man and the Wasp.
I was saying that in a good way. I was saying that in a good way. But it's just you don't need to tell me twice. You don't have to tell me twice.
You had me at Doctor Strange. Now you're just complimenting me more. Callum, you want to go ahead now?
Things are going to get quite strange.
Is that it? Well, my opinions are, I like Vision. I like Scarlet Witch. Like I said it in our in-game special. Endgame made me love Scarlet Witch. Made me hate Captain Marvel, love Scarlet Witch. So, very excited for the series. Vision is my second favorite Avenger, so really excited to see where this goes.
Okay, I think we'll just call that done.
We're not done!
What else are we going to talk about?
The new ones, Callum. There are more, but we'll just go through this kind of quick. But they announced 3 new shows.
Okay.
Oh, what was that, Mel?
I was going to say, being like, we could make this into a part 2, because I actually wasn't expecting an episode today. I thought that we would all actually sit down and talk on Skype and figure out our plans.
We are doing that.
Wait, did you not think this was an episode? This is an episode.
No, I know this was an episode because I was on mute for a while for that reason. It's just like, oh wait, they're doing an episode. I thought that we agreed that we were gonna all like find a day that we were all available and just keep, in
Yeah, we
touch.
sort of we jumped into it,
And this is why we don't jump into shit, Neil.
I know, but we're still doing the episode, so we might as well finish up.
Just make a part
There
two.
were 3 things left in terms of shows. No, there are only 3 things left in terms of the shows. And then when we talk about Comic-Con, we can push them in there if we left things out. The 3 things left are kind of comic book characters that are new additions to the MCU. The first one is Moon Knight. The second one is Miss Marvel. And the third one, and the most important one in my opinion, is She-Hulk.
I did see the She-Hulk bit.
I think it's about time we got some Hulk stuff in the MCU.
Okay, there we go. Done. Okay, everyone join us.
Okay.
And don't forget, we'll probably be
Really? You're not even going to share an opinion?
Nope.
Well, how about
Okay.
as a to be continued episode?
To be continued.
Yeah.
The
that
point
way we
is,
can
everybody,
continue.
Reactaholics is back. It came back in a weird way, but it's back.
And we're
We don't know how long because we still need to schedule stuff, which I'm hoping.
We shall figure that out off camera.
Yes. Otherwise, you guys can. We'll wrap this up real quick. If you guys can hit that like button and subscribe button, please. We're hoping to actually come back this time.
We could really do with more recognition.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll spread the word and all that. Like, we're not looking for like recognition as in like huge. We just want to have a place where Stardusters can actually go and talk about stuff. This podcast was made for Stardusters by Stardusters, so we want to bring the community, together, especially since, I think a lot of people have taken hiatuses, not just from the show, but also from Stardust as well. Like I talked to Cine Noir, he hasn't posted in a while. And kind of giving like a rebirth of not just like the podcast, but also to the app. So if you can, tell your friends, tell your fellow countrymen. All of our stuff will be linked. Neil, how can they find you?
If I am Dr. Knealetapus, I am found on this channel. I do streams all the time. Also, if you are a lover of movies, make a Stardust account of your own. Join the community if you want to.
Right.
Callum, where can they find you?
I have my own YouTube channel named Scotswizard, and I do voice impressions. I play games, and this Saturday I am going to go to a Comic-Con in Glasgow, dressed up as Austin Powers. I'm going to see the guy who voices Baron Luigi.
Awesome. And of course, you guys can find me on Stardust. Of course, like Neil said, just download the app. Out of all the social media accounts on there, this one's honestly the most innocent and the most honest. Like, no spilling the tea except for movie tea. It's pretty much it. So you can find me at ImperfectVanity. You can also find me on Instagram, imperfect_vanity. But anything that has the word ImperfectVanity in it, you can find me. And for those who did not join us, we'll link all their information down below. Also, you can find in our editor and our wonderful man behind the curtain, Chris, put his information down in the comments below. And this will be, to be continued until next time. And hopefully we'll actually be back. But we're going to hopefully quickly talk about it off camera. So good night, everybody.
And
We will do Comic-Con stuff next time, I guess.
Special guests. Squid Giants, Stuntman Jess, Real Mr. Robinson. Who knows?
No, we're doing Halloween stuff next time. Cut it.